Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to talk you through my DIY kitchen. Anyone who's been following the channel will know that I've ordered this kitchen from DIY. I went through the design process. We went to DIY kitchen showroom in Oxford, and then obviously I went through the purchase of it, got it delivered, and then had it fitted. We had it fitted by our builder, so that actually worked out better, which I'll come on to in a bit as to why that's better. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to walk you through what our kitchen is, what units we went for, what the whole process was like, and I will talk about some of the pluses with DIY kitchens, the benefits, and I'll also talk about a few negatives with DIY kitchens, because this video is not sponsored. As I said before, I don't get enough views to get sponsored, but at least this is an honest review of a normal person, kind of, who's bought a kitchen from DIY Kitchens. So I'm going to talk you through the units, what we went through, all the stuff, and then I'll kind of come on to some of the other things. So we actually changed the design of our kitchen part way through, so it's not quite how we thought it was going to be, but there's now a shelf. The reason we changed our kitchen is because we took out a wall and all this stuff. But anyway, we got a shelving unit here, which is actually quite handy because this has got my wife's coffee machine on it. I don't drink coffee, but yeah, that's there. And then we got other stuff here, so it's kind of useful for that. Then we got these tall larder cupboards. Now, when you're purchasing cupboards from DIY Kitchens, you get a couple of options. You can order you can order units that are 2150 high, or I think there's some which are 19 something or other, right? It's important that you consider this, right? Because you measure the height of your ceiling, you think, oh, that's right, it's 2150, that'd be fine. You've got to add the feet on. There's feet on here which are 15 centimetres. That makes it 2300, 2.3 metres. And you may also look at that and go, well, that's fine, our ceilings are that high. But you've got to be able to lift the units into place. And as you lift them, they'll hit the ceiling. We don't have that problem here because this ceiling is vaulted, but make sure you consider that, because if you order the wrong stuff from DIY, you've got a problem. I'll come on to that in a bit. But here, these are just massive cupboards, and they are massive, but quite useful because, well, we didn't really have many cupboards in our kitchen before, and now we've got a million cupboards. Yeah, so there's a tall larder cupboard there. There's another tall larder cupboard here. This is a double oven with microwave unit, and it comes with like this thing here. And another thing about these tall cupboards, you've got to be pretty tall if you're going to have these cupboards. I mean, I'm 6 foot, and look, that's like a struggle to kind of close that. So if you're short, then don't go for the tall ones. But we got, yeah, double oven, and then a drawer unit down there, which we put all of our pots and pans in. I didn't actually purchase, you can purchase appliances from DIY Kitchens. I didn't because I actually found it cheaper elsewhere. So when you look at the appliances from DIY, they offer two brands of appliances, quite limited what they offer. They offer AEG and CDA, which is like a budget brand. AEG is the expensive brand. But when I kind of looked around, I found the appliances cheaper elsewhere, so make sure you do that before you actually buy them from DIY. It's no real any different because they deliver appliances at a different delivery time and everything anyway, so it's no real different. What we also got here is an integrated fridge, and we've got a freezer in another area of the house, so we just went straight for a fridge, and that is a higher fridge, and then this is called a sliding something or other, and you just screw it on there, attach the door, and then it just opens and closes like this. This really annoys my family. They just cannot seem to adjust to it, because previously we had just a normal fridge. You swang the door and it's shut. Problem with this is, if you swing the door, it doesn't shut. It's not shut, and then it goes shut. But sometimes it doesn't shut properly, and it just sits there like that. Then it starts beeping. So you actually have to push it shut. So something to think about. This cupboard I love. This is a pull-out larder cupboard. And it's kind of cool because everything comes out with it. The trays come out, and it's actually really useful. What you'll notice of this cupboard is it's really heavy when you're trying to lift it. That adds so much weight. What you can actually do is move all these shelves as well, which is really kind of useful. The other thing with these cupboards are they're really expensive. Like a standard cupboard is so much, and then you add that larder cupboard and it goes up by about 500 quid to add all those things in there. But I do think it is worth having. And then up the top there, we've got this cornice thing, which I'm going to come on to as part of the complaints. Okay, the other thing is the handles. Now, you can also order these from DIY Kitchens. I didn't, because I got exactly the same handles. They may have even been from the same manufacturer, because DIY don't make their own handles. I got them from Toolstation, and they were about, I don't know, about £80 cheaper or something to buy them from Toolstation versus buying them from DIY. So don't feel you have to buy the handles and buy the appliances and buy everything from DIY. The only things we bought from DIY is the cooker tap and the sink. Right, this is our island, and it's actually our only work surface. So we've got all these tall ones here, and then we've just got this giant work surface. This island is 2.7 meters long by 1.5 meters wide, because we've got an overhang, which I'll show you in a minute. But yeah, we've integrated our appliances. So we've got a hob. This is the hob from our old kitchen. I didn't see the point in buying another one. I just put that in there. This is the sink. If you remember the sink from the previous video, 75-year guarantee. What I can tell you is, when we put that sink in, the washers that they supply with it are so poor quality that the fitter had to go and buy some different washers at high quality and put it in. I felt like making a claim on that 75-year warranty, but I decided I couldn't be bothered. Right, on the end here, we've got, done something there, we've got a bin unit, right? So you take that out and you got bins in there. With DIY Kitchens, you've got an option. You can order a 4-bin unit or a 2-bin unit. I thought I'd ordered a 2-bin unit, and then that arrived, and then when I look back at my design, I'd accidentally ordered a 4-bin unit, which is kind of annoying, because then you end up with 2 of these small bins at the back here, which are not great. And then you get this sort of tray thing at the back here. So obviously when you've got rubbish and stuff in there, you don't just want it like smelling and stuff. So there is a top to that bin as it goes in, like that. Everything is obviously soft close. In here, we've just got one of these. We actually ordered this cutlery tray from DIY Kitchens, and that's probably worth doing because it fits in perfectly. So probably it might be a little bit more expensive than what a normal one is, but it's well worth it. Here we've got an integrated dishwasher, and again, we decided not to go with the DIY Kitchens version, but we went with our own one. It's kind of useful because when you have an integrated dishwasher, you can't tell when it's finished or anything like that. But with this one, it actually pops open when it's finished, which is quite useful. I think with the AEG one, it's even better. It's got a little light, a laser light thing that shines out the bottom to tell you that it's done. This is our sink unit. Under there, small cupboard, loads of plumbing. This is nothing to do with DIY Kitchens, but I cannot believe how complicated this plumbing setup is here. It's absolutely mental. Right, these cupboards here are quite useful because they're like, go like that. And you can put like tea towels and things on there, like hang them on there and put like cleaning stuff in there. And this one, I think it's called a spice rack or something. But again, we're just using that for cleaning stuff. This is our cooker tap. So we've gone for one of the cooker taps. I did get this from DIY Kitchens because these cooker taps, you can't really get them discounted anywhere. So I just thought easier to get it from DIY. So that actually came a little bit earlier. With this one, we just went for the kind of normal hot and cold tap things. And then we also went for the boiling water. So you just go like that and then you get boiling water. And you just can get instant boiling water. And that's actually quite nice because we don't need a kettle in it anymore. So it's kind of useful. You don't have to worry about putting a kettle anywhere. You can get another one which also does ice cold water and sparkling water, I think, as well, but we didn't bother with that. And that's the other thing, when you go over a cooker tap, you get this sort of tank thing here. That's what heats it. It just goes, it's got a normal plug on it, and you just plug it into a normal socket. And there is some sort of like calculation where if you have so many cups of tea per day, it makes this more efficient than having a kettle. Don't know how realistic that is, but anyway. This is our worktop, and we didn't get this from DIY Kitchens either. We did price one with DIY, but we actually went with a local company who lots of our friends had gone with, and it was actually quite a bit cheaper to go with the local company versus going through DIY. So make sure you take a look at local companies for providing this for you, because they'll probably be cheaper and they'll provide you with a much more local service versus DIY Kitchens, which they even outsource it as well. They don't do it themselves, and they will send some national company round. The way it works when you install this though is they come out. So basically you have to put the whole kitchen in, apart from the worktop. So you think, oh, we're nearly there. And then you have to wait for these guys to come out. That all has to be in, and they laser measure it. Then you have to wait for them to build it, which could take another week or 2 weeks. So there's a period of about a week or 2 weeks where you just don't have anything on top of your island. And then round the other side of this island, we've actually got a load of cupboards which are behind these, which you probably say is quite annoying, but we just wanted the extra cupboard space, and we just put like stuff in there that we don't use as often, and then we can just kind of leave it, pull that chair out when we need it. Right, so on to the kind of positives with DIY Kitchens. So positives, what I like about DIY is they offer kind of highly itemized service. So when you want something, you kind of go there and you look through and it tells you exactly how much it's going to be, and that's kind of really kind of useful. Whereas when you go to like Wrens and Howdens and things like that, they don't tell you exact prices of what you're doing. So if you're designing your kitchen and you want to swap out a kitchen with DIY, if you want to swap out a cupboard, you can see what it's going to cost. So an example of this cupboard, where you can say, oh, this is how much the cupboard is without all the shelves in it. This is how much it is with them all in, and you can decide if you want to get it. So that's really good. Obviously, the main positive of going with DIY, the main reason that everyone goes with them, is because they're cheaper. And for this kitchen, obviously, I didn't get the appliances from them. I didn't get the worktops from them. I did get the cooker tap, but if we take off the cost of the cooker tap, the cost of this kitchen in total was £5,500, including VAT and delivery, which I think is pretty good. I will say it's pretty good if you compare it to, say, Wrens and Howdens and all the rest of them. But it is still a bunch of MDF, which is the cheapest wood you can get. It's the wood that they take from sweeping up off the floor, and then they make these kind of kitchens out of them. So still seems like a lot of money for that. But I think if you compare them to Wrens and Howdens and things like that, they're really good. The quality is brilliant, I think. Even our fitter, who'd previously fitted lots of Wrens and the Howdens and things like that, was so impressed with this. He's going to start buying and fitting these for his future kitchen. So he was well impressed with the quality. So I don't have any issues with the quality of it. And the price, you just can't beat it compared to the others that are out there. So the quality is generally good. There is one thing that really is bugging me with the quality though, and that is this thing up here, which is called a cornice. Okay, now that cornice is supposed to be the same colour as these units, and it's not. And when you look at it in the dark, like later on in the dark, it's really obvious that it's a completely different colour. Now, I went back to DIY Kitchens and I said, I think you sent me the wrong, well, I didn't know it's cornice, right? But yeah, they told me it was a cornice. It's a cornice. And I said, I think you sent me the wrong one. They were like, well, that's not our problem because your fitter has fitted it now and you've got to pay for another one, right? The problem is when you look at that in different lights, it kind of looks like the same colour. My fitter's been out in the garden and he's cutting everything. He's cut it, put it on, and then goes, oh, actually, and then as the light changes throughout the day, it's really obvious it's a different colour. So I went back to DIY, I said, not having it, it's your fault, you've got to sort this out, right? So they agreed to do that, and then they sent me another one of these for free. It turns up, it's the same colour as the one they've already sent me. So now I'm thinking, Is it supposed to be that colour? A completely different colour to the rest of the units? I can't believe it is. So that to me is a quality issue there, which I'm not very happy with. The other problem with that is, and I'll come on to this is basically the same problem. They sent me the wrong one of these, okay? It was like too big and it required a cut. So they said, we'll send you another one of these out. So they said, yeah, we'll send you out another one of these. Okay. Problem with DIY kitchens is, well, one of the problems is when you're dealing with them, you can't just phone them and go, oh, you've just done this, you've done that, I'm not sure what this bit's called, can you do that? No, you phone them and go, you've got to email us, right? So you email them a problem that you've got, and it takes them about, at least in my experience, takes them over a day to come back to you with an answer, okay? And that answer, you might then go, well, I've now got another question. And then you might have to wait another 6, 7, 8 hours for them to reply, right? So you can take 2-3 days just to answer a question on getting an end panel. Then, once you go through the process of getting it, it takes 5 to 7 business days for them to deliver the replacement part. Now, if you had that, and this was the case for us, it was on a Friday, and we're going to order that, it didn't arrive until the next Tuesday after. So it was 11 days later, we got one of these end panels. Now, that might be, well, it was kind of okay for us because our builder was our fitter. And he was just he was doing other things with the build, so that was fine. He was still here, so we waited for it to turn up, we put it on. If you're just having a normal kitchen fitted, and you're a fitter and you're paying them a day rate, and they've come out and it's like 2-3 days work or whatever you've paid them, are they going to just be happy to just come back out and go, oh, can you come back out in 11 days and fix this for some undetermined amount of time and come and put that on? Now, luckily, this isn't a crucial bit. But if you had a crucial bit missing and it stops your fitter from actually fitting your kitchen, then they have to wait 11 days for whatever that crucial thing is. It's going to be a nightmare. So that is a real pain. The other negative with DIY, which I found, is that our fitter, when they fitted this kitchen, something has happened here where they fitted this fridge and one of the screws has come through. Now, these screws are supposed to be designed as a way where they don't actually come through. So, fair enough, that's not DIY Kitchen's fault. That's something to do with the fridge or whatever, right? It's one of those things. But the fitter said to me, he said, look, it's my fault. Order another one, and I'll put it back on for you. So, this is another complaint I've got with DIY kitchens. So, obviously, if you're doing everything online, you're buying a kitchen yourself, it's not the fitter's problem, that's your problem, you need to solve it. You need to place the order and get the door for them. Okay, so you go on DIY Kitchen's website, you kind of measure this door, make sure you're getting the right one, because you've got to make sure you get exactly the right one. Because if you order the wrong thing from DIY Kitchens, they will not take it back. So make sure that you've got the right measurement, the right colour, the right everything. Go on the website, you search for it, right? This cupboard here on DIY Kitchen's website is £52, okay? You think, okay, £52, fine. Then, though, they charge you if you want to have a hole drilled for the hinge, okay? Now, my fitter said to me, it's better to get them to do it because they're all exactly in the same place because it's machine drilled, okay? So you go on there, but they charge you for that. So it's £6 to have the holes drilled in your cupboard for each cupboard that you want to replace. So for us, that's now the cupboard that was £52 is now £58. However, it isn't, because you then have to add VAT to that £58, right? So all of a sudden, your price of your door that you thought was 50 quid is now going up. But this is the real kick in that they then charge you £30 delivery charge to deliver one door, okay? So that door that was £52 on the website, to get it to you is actually over £100, and it really annoys me. And do you know what the best bit about it is? I've got to wait 5 to 7 business days to get one door delivered. And do you know how they deliver it? It comes from someplace up north, Barnsley. They send it to their Oxford showroom, and then some guy in a truck drives all the way down here to deliver this one replacement door. I don't know how that really makes it efficient, but I'm not particularly happy with paying £30 delivery for one door and then for it to take 11 days to get here, because I found this problem on Friday and then I'm going to have to wait until Tuesday next week to get it. So that is also annoying, and that is something that they should improve. So you don't have that problem so much with the likes of Howden, at least with Howdens anyway, because Howdens you can just kind of walk in there, you can have a row with someone, they'll probably sort it out for you, you won't get charged a delivery fee, they can swap things out and it's easier, so keep that in mind. Another thing which is not really a negative, it's more of a comment. Obviously with DIY kitchens, you have to design the kitchen yourself using their online planner. Go and check out my other video on that. I've kind of done a basic sort of guide on how to use that thing, but that will actually prevent a lot of people from buying from DIY, because if you're not really great with computers or you've got a slightly complicated kitchen, it's actually quite a hard tool to use. I think that's one of the things that DIY kitchens could improve, and they will improve it over time, and they are improving it all the time, but I think that needs just a bit of a step up, because that's actually going to prevent a lot of people from ordering a kitchen from DIY. But I don't want to end it on a kind of negative, because I guess my experience with DIY has been a learning experience, and I guess the question is, would I buy from them again? Yes, I would. The quality is good, the price is good, and if you can get beyond, and now that I've learned all their little kind of nuances, I can probably get beyond it. And so, yes, I would buy from them again. So, I've gone on a bit of a rant there. Anyway, that concludes my review of a DIY kitchen.